Alrighty, guys, thank you very much for joining us. I am your host, Jason, here for another Chair League match. We've got a Division 2 match here between Cloud8 and Lionspeed, two teams that we casted last week as well, so we'll get a second shot at seeing what these guys have in their bag of tricks. I am joined, as always, by my best co-caster that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, a man who is going to finally get rid of all of those Trump rumors and set the record straight. It is Plague. How's it going, Plague?
I'm here to make HOTS great again. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. I'm going to make HOTS great again. Ugh. How's everybody doing today? Just had to give a little stretch here on a Monday evening. Back at it with the HOTS League, which is definitely one of the highlights of my Mondays, is getting on to playing. And I really enjoy watching this. Like we're going to be on Curse Hollow for this particular map.
All right.
Jay, what do you see as we get into this bans and picks? What do you think?
Well, it's pretty standard. I think that First Hollow is a map where there's not really a whole lot of special mechanics you have to work with. Like a lot of maps on Heroes of the Storm, one of the main priorities is to worry about sustain, both with regards to damage and healing. You want to be able to sustain as long as possible. Poke ability is really good. Having siege damage and wave clear, as always, is very important. But there's not really that one thing that makes certain heroes just broken on this map. It's not Blackheart's Bay, where Illidan does really good because he can Merc. It's not, one of the pushing map objectives where Sylvanas shines, or Infernal Shrines where Kerrigan's good. There's nothing really particular, so you can kind of run whatever you want on this map. It's a little bit more, broad.
It is, I agree. But there are some picks that that work towards this map. Diablo and APOC kind of comes to mind. ETC and Mosh does with all those little tight nooks and crannies. A Falstead kind of sort of speaks out a little bit, being able to launch himself over the walls and things like that, and all those little bushes and things like that. So those are kind of top picks that I think we banned out. But as we see it right now, we do see a Ragnaros ban along with this ban, but we do see a Dahaka pickup here for the side. I don't know what side is that. Who's blue?
Oh, we got Cloud8 is going to be on the left, is the blue team, and Lionspeed is your red team on the right.
Beautiful.
So yeah, one thing I will say, it is a large map, so large map rules apply. Yep. Where globals are going to kind of rule. And you're right, the map objective, having somebody that can poke out is really good. We see a lot of Li Ming played here. Yep. Things like Tassadar. Anything that as a the Well-Read Malfurion has good poke ability, especially after level 4 without a Loon's Grace. So they're going to go with Vala and Malfurion here.
Yeah, and pretty much anybody that has like decent, like damage-wise, an AOE, a nice root comes to Malfurion. Vala there with the barrage comes to mind, or the arrow seekers, like you said with the Li Ming with the Ball of Death. So anything like that, a KT comes to mind as well. So, like you said, Jay, I think there is no one way to do it, but there are different ways to do the same thing, and we'll see how both teams kind of prioritize and work that way up. So we're going to see the response pick to the Malfurion of Cloud9 here, with the already picked up Dahaka.
Yeah, Cloud8, still having these two picks, does have the opportunity to go for more globals. They prioritized Dahaka as that first global. Brightwing and ETC, also Stage Dive as a very possible global here. We'll have to see what the interrupt factor looks like for that mosh pit to see where he's probably going to go with that. And they'll go Falstad. So that's 3 out of the 4 most notable global heroes in the game here, Plague. Not tricky to see what they're trying to do here.
No, there isn't. I think we kind of sort of get a glimpse of this. They picked up 2 kind of tanks. None of them really have great damage, like a Sonya or something like that. But begs to think, are they going to be a little bit short on PS? But that Falstad pickup, kind of sort of shirt up a little bit of that with a high DPS, high turnout and damage that he can sustain. We do see a Rhaegar ban for the side of Lions here, and we're going to see the response ban from Cloud8.
Yeah, probably going to be a Tychus if I had to guess. I know it's a well. Actually, they're going to go with Diablo.
Diablo.
Tychus Vala is something we've been seeing run a little bit more often. They are the best 2 auto attack damage dealers in the game and have an incredibly high amount of sustain. But not everybody is getting on the bandwagon with that. They do kind of fill the same role, so a lot of people don't like to double stack those kind of things. So we'll see if they decide to go down that route. But with 2 tanks on the other side, yeah, there it is. They're gonna Tychus Vala. They pair it with Zarya. So between Zarya's shields, Malfurion's steady heals, and to go on Vala, this is the unkillable Vala comp with Tychus follow-up. And now they really just need another frontliner, maybe a solo laner like a Frog.
You know, this is reaching a little bit. Do you think Cloud8 did a little bit of a misstep there, banning out the Diablo than say a Tychus? Because for you, obviously, it looked very obvious what they were going to try to do here with that pickup there.
Yeah.
And they went out and banned out as good, but not as good as a Tychus.
So we are going to see Zul'Jin.
Yeah, right, my man.
Zul'Jin Morales. So this is a combo we're seeing a lot. Morales is a pretty good steady healer for Zul'Jin. We've been seeing a little bit more of Morales start to come back into the meta, mostly because of Zul'Jin. It's usually used on maps more like Brax's Holdout, but any map where you need a lot of sustain, Morales is really good for. This being a little bit bigger of a map, we might even see something like a medevac coming out here, but I really like that pickup. That's a good response to the poke ability because Zul'Jin is probably one of the quickest sustained damage dealers in the game. He does sustain damage just like Vala, just like Tychus, but he can really turn it up a notch with that increased haste from the berserking trait that he has.
All right, and we're cutting down the last few seconds of the picking phase for side of the Lions here, and we're going to see what they're going to pick up for the last pick. Jay, when we get into the low screen, can I ask you to reset your Varian Discord, because you're kind of coming in and out a little bit. It drops you for a few seconds and then picks you back up.
Yeah, you got it, man. I'll be happy to do that.
Yeah, thank
we'll
you.
Just go ahead and pop right out. Be right back.
All right. Now into the changing around heroes phase of it all right now. Our teams are getting into the right positions here. We are going to see how we're going to match up here, and we're going to get on this round of 1 Curse Hollowed map.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Both of these teams, not new to Chair League, so these guys are both teams that know what they're doing, and clearly they had an idea what they want to do here. I do like the Varian pickup at the end. A lot of people have been going taunt Varian, so they have good follow-up. The key to being able to enable these auto attack damage dealers like Vala, like Tychus, is being able to get somebody to stand still for a little while. Nothing does that better than charge Varian with taunt. That's
right. And if I had to make a pick here on who had the better draft here, or who's going to win this based off of draft, I think I am going to have to go with Lionspeed. The Varian and Malf work right there, along with the Zarya and of course Tychus Vala combos working. That is going to be very, very difficult to beat here in this map. So I'm going to have to go with them.
All right, so we are loading in here to Cursed Hollow Division 2 match, Cloud8 versus Lionspeed. First, you got your blue team on the left. It is going to be the Federalist playing the ETC. Orin is going to be playing Zul'Jin. Heejin is going to be playing Morales. Scat Toffee?
Look at that one.
Yeah, it's going to be playing Falstad. And Day is going to be playing the Haka. The Haka.
In the Haka. In the red trunks, we got S-Fox64 on Variant, Gladius on Malfurion, Big Wiz on Zaharia. I think I said that wrong. Very cheesy 1, 2, 3 on Tychus, and Patches on Vala. The Haka. Sorry.
Yeah, Cloud8, by the way, on the left there.
Thank you. like Tourette's of the mouth, but it's the Haka of the mouth.
It's, yeah. The Haka.
The Haka.
I can't control it. Self-diagnosed Asperger's, right?
Get it. Not much going on. No 5-minute full in mid lane here, so we're just both teams electing to kind of sort of get out the lanes here. But you are seeing a little bit of a build-up here in mid lane from Cloud8 as Falstead flies down to the bot lane.
Yeah, so we do see the global team of Cloud8 go to the middle, see if they can catch anybody out or get any kind of engagement. Maybe try and bait the side of Lionspeed to stay a little bit too long in the mid, because they've got those globals that can always just travel right back out to lane.
Yes, absolutely. Here we do have Dahak in the top lane, working on Tychus, and we do have Falstad in the bottom lane on Varian, with all three others here in mid lane.
Yeah, so both teams just kind of focusing on wave clear at this point. Pretty standard, nobody getting caught too far out, particularly Falstad making sure to stay nice and far back away from that CC combo from the Varian and the Malfurion, which can be a very ugly combo to have to walk into. Of course, we do have the side of Cloud8 winning a little bit in the mid lane because of that Zul'jin Morales combo that can just sustain for days in both heals and damage. And both of these teams probably going to start splitting off at some point here. We do have the Knights spawning in 5 seconds, and soon after that will be our first tribute. So prioritizing getting that camp is going to be the side of Lionspeed. So very nice rotation by these guys to be able to get that done. They do have still the globals available for Cloud8 if they want to take that option.
Right, and hopefully for them on their end, with that camp, that the tribute spawns top, which it does, which is very advantageous for them because that means the mercenary that's pushing a bot lane is the farthest possible way from the engagement.
So yeah, if you're Lionspeed right now, your main goal is just to stall this out. And it does look like the rotation is coming in. He's just trying to cast that, but the grenade from Varcheezy will be in just in time to block that outplay.
There it is. We are going to see the root coming down from Vala, and soon we are going to see LT to be the first blood. Federal's getting really low here, and he does get away.
Yeah, the slide out just in time to be able to juke that grenade. And not only are they stalling this out correctly, but they are going to end up getting the tribute, mostly due to the fact that Falstad decided not to fly up here, decided instead to answer to this camp in the bottom and not give up any of the tower shots.
No, it isn't. And we are going to see a little bit of a push here in top lane from Orin and Day, but it is going to be countered.
Yeah, it does sound like you might be cutting out a little bit there, partner.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I don't know what the deal is.
It's me. Hang on. Let me see if I can do something with that.
Let's see.
See if I did that.
Gather tribute or face my curse.
We are having the second tribute out spawn again in the top, a little bit left and a little bit to the left than where it previously spawned the first time. And as the teams start to rotate here, it looks like where they are going to have a little bit of a meeting right here and begin. The ETC caught up. Federalist caught a little bit. See LT try to get that point again.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stall out over on the side of Lionspeed between Zarya's poke, Malfurion's Moonfire from a long range. Federal is going in deep, but he's going to take a lot of harass. Morales not able to heal through that kind of burst damage, but they do trade out for Zarya here. Star Fox 64 and a little bit too far is going to have to back up on Varian, and this one is going to go over to the side of Cloud8 as they are going to have to back off from this and discontinue their contesting.
Right, and they were both even at that point. None of them were considerably too low. A little bit there, but they elected to give it up, which is fine because it's just a one tribute to one tribute. In fact, a strategy that I like to use is when the first tribute does, I usually let it go and let the other team get it, so I can soak maybe another fourth of a level or a half a level. So the contest real hard right here in the first two tributes isn't really necessary.
Yeah, especially if you've got a camp pushing. As we saw on these last two tributes, each team respectively did have that. So if anything, you could just stall it out, be a little bit more cautious. Going in deep is only going to get those camps less value in the long run, even if you end up capturing. But we do see a camp started here over on the side of Lionspeed. Cloud8, the Federalist there to at least peek at that and warn that there might be monsters lurking right around the corner, Plague. They're going to back away from that bruiser camp.
They are here. Rotation is on here. Looks like Lionspeed is the first to arrive here. We are going to see Dahaka get caught out a little bit here. Is he going to be able to get away here? Yes, he looks like he is. But at what cost? None, apparently. I thought for sure Falston was going to go down too. But
Yeah, Morales still able to keep Day alive here. The sustainability from all of the essence that have been collected there on the Dahaka, able to keep him alive at least long enough to keep him in this fight. Going back and forth on the tribute, however, both teams starting to lose a little bit of their health. Both sustained healers doing all they can to try and keep him up. Day again getting very low. The Morales beam going to switch around between our two global heroes as Varcheezy just getting a ton of harass back here. Both of the auto attack damage dealers attacking from the bottom, not being answered to here, and that is ultimately going to proc Lionspeed, being able to have a favorable exchange and collect their second tribute of the game.
Yeah, very, very impressive way of handling that. They looked a little bit caught out at first and got pushed back a little bit, but they're able to play it right and apply the pressure where Cloud8 was the weakest and was able to push them out and secure their second tribute. And we are going to see them pick up their bottom siege camp right here in the bottom of mid lane.
And Day instantly able to brush stock up to that top lane to be able to put some pressure on top, getting a little bit of damage done, but getting the superior poke. Level 10 right around the corner for both of these teams. They should have it in time for this next tribute, especially with the global soak. And level 10s are here, Plague.
They are here. And take a quick look here for Lionspeed. We are going to have, let me find it, Taunt for Varian. We are going to see Odin for Tychus, Rain of Vengeance for Vala, and Explosion Zone for Zahara, and we're waiting on Malfurion.
Yeah, I mean, overall, for the side of Cloud8, it is going to be the isolation taken for Dahaka. A little bit of an interesting pick. Stim Drone is going to be coming out for that Zul'jin. I'm sure Taz Dingo, no big surprise there. Mosh Pit is going to be coming out from our ETC player. Very spicy. We're also going to see the Gust, of course. And right away, the taunt going out on Day, but we'll be able to get out of that situation. The Federalist being poked out from patches in the bottom of this team fight here, and the charge in. Falstad gonna have to barrel roll out of that situation. Patches going deep with the use of that Stim Drone. Taz Dingo is popped, but is gonna be taunted. Star Fox gonna keep very healthy here. Morales not able to keep him alive, and they're gonna have to back out of this situation 2-0, going over to Lionspeed, and that'll be their first curse of the game.
That is really nice and impressively done, even though with LT stimming and applying her spray onto Zul'jin, still able to get him down without taking any losses here. He's a very, very dangerous single target damage dealer, one of the best in the game, arguably, and did a nice job of getting on him and just making sure that he doesn't get anything.
Yeah, you would think that a Taz Dingo Zul'jin auto-attacking you would still be scary, but Star Fox was able to handle that like a champion with the block talent at level 4. No big surprise, Warbringer coming out for this full tank combo. But we do see a decent defense here from the side of Cloud8. They are able to still utilize those globals.
Lionspeed going after their boss here, doing maybe the boss exchange here. Get the top boss once it spawns, and then the other team reacts to it in top lane. You run down to their boss in bottom lane. They take that one as well.
Yeah, they get a couple forts out of this. Once you've gotten a couple forts out of this first curse, you can't really expect to get too much else. So they are going to go ahead and drop back, get the boss, and they might be able to get down here in time to be able to contest this. They are chunking it pretty well here, though, with this Zul'jin and Falstad. But it's going to be very, very close. The rotation is coming in. The boss goes down just a little bit too late for the side of Lionspeed to be able to get in. But that is going to give them a favorable rotation to just be able to turn around and blow up this boss before it gets any real work done.
Right, and it looks like Cloud8 is electing that boss to get ever so close to the keep here, and electing to get their bruiser camp before reacting to the boss.
Yeah, they take a little pit stop there to grab the bruisers to be able to push out mid, but that's also going to deny them some of that XP in mid as that bruiser camp solos that wave, and like you said, they get a little bit of damage done. They're going to take the entire front wall down with the use of this boss, while all we're looking at for the side of Cloud8's boss is just the front wall of this bottom fort.
Yeah, it is, and not even much of onto the fort at all. Got both cannons down along with wall and maybe a hit or two on the tower behind it. And it looks like we have a bit of a rotation here on the side of Cloud8 in mid lane here to see what they can see on their golden roosters. I just noticed that, by the way. I thought that was cute.
Yeah, good mount synergy there. Of course, poor Dahaka doesn't get a mount, so won't be able to join in on the fun there. But level 13 still not here for Cloud8, so they're going to go ahead and back up, work on getting their siege camp instead. Of course, we do have Falstad in that bottom lane, able to get a little bit of passive soak. But a rotation coming in here from Lionspeed. They realize that they got to be on this camp. They're not going to be there in time to be able to steal it, but they're going to push them right off to at least make sure it doesn't get any value. They go in hard for that.
It's already coming up. Rain of Vengeance is already out.
Yeah, they're poking back and forth at each other, but ultimately it does look like they're going to try and back out of this situation, realizing they are far down into no man's land in that corner where they did not want to get mosh pitted. So they're going to back up as level 13s have been picked up here for Cloud8.
There has been here. Rotation is on. Both teams are at the tribute point here, and they are going to have it spawn. And it looks like we're going to have Varian coming in trying to get on Soldier, but ETC with the massive mosh pit.
Man, mosh pit from the Federalist. And they're going to be able to take at least one kill off of that Plague. Not a whole lot of follow-up damage for it, I got to admit. Actually, the side of Cloud8 getting completely wrecked out of that. They do get a second kill there, so they take down the front line. And Varcheezy doing everything he can in that Commandeered Odin to try and get out. But hitting the huge mosh pit there as Federalist, that's at least going to give them a pleasant outcome here, Plague. Maybe not the one they wanted, but something good to work from.
Yeah, it is. Definitely was very nice. Don't want to take anything away, but with a 5-man match pit, you would think you would have gotten something more than just one kill. But that's more of a focus problem than anything else. I'm sure they'll get that right the next time around. But great job there on the Federalist there, coming in there from behind them and getting in, sliding in with that mine.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot more that the Federalist can do about that situation other than hitting the 5-man mosh pit and just waiting for the whole team to capitalize on it. But they do end up getting those 2 kills. It is going to get them a serious catch-up advantage in the XP, and they're even going to get a little bit out of this mid lane after taking down the top 4.
We are here. We are going to see the spawn of the next tribute down in the bottom here. We are going to see Cloud8 get spread out, get positioned, and with them getting the watchtower as well. And we do have it spawn here. Here comes the collapse.
Yeah, they're going to come right in on this, and they're going to definitely start to poke it out a little bit as they wait for everybody to be in position. They are trying to stall this out.
Oh, the
taunt goes down on Dahaka, but the burrow will be good. The gust also to pull them out. Day getting very low once again, though. Morales not on full mana here, so he's not going to be able to sustain this forever. But the drag in is going to take down Vala. Very nice play by Day there, and good follow-up this time from the side of Cloud8 as the charge goes in to get Falstad caught out a little bit. He will be able to barrel roll out of that situation. And now the pushback in this 4v5 situation, though we actually do see ETC has fallen back. Doesn't have stage dive to be able to come back in on this, but they get Tychus down as well. So those are the 2 main damage dealers. This time they focus on the damage dealers Plague instead of the tanks.
That's probably the right thing to move there. We did see Malfurion use his Twilight Dream, but it only got ETC out of it, which isn't very advantageous, even though you think you would have been able to hit somebody else, but he just missed the rest of the damage dealers, and I think that's what really cost him that exchange.
And the instant rotation here from the global heroes on the side of Cloud8, the rest of the team shuffling their way on up as well to start this boss. They see that counter was right near 0, and they jump all over this boss Plague.
There's nothing but that Lionspeed and the rotation is going to be on. I suspect them to go bottom lane, which is this first boss pushes in the top lane, and they can probably paint the board blue if they wanted to, getting the boss, the bruisers, and the siege camps as they work their way up.
Yeah, usually I'm more of a fan of getting siege pressure in these situations, but to be honest, they are getting some decent siege pressure. They do get the mid fort. The boss will be pushing without taking any damage from these towers, so they're going to get a little bit of damage on the top keep, and like you said, they're going to trade out both bosses for this, which is going to give them the opportunity to maybe try and push down the bottom keep with this boss.
Right, they could probably just go with this boss. Dahaka are electing to get the bruisers himself and spawning, but they could all essentially just push bottom and and push the envelope down there, and possibly even get a couple hits on the core if they're able to play it right.
Yeah, Dahaka can meet them in this bottom lane if they want to, but it looks like they're gonna actually elect to maybe try and split push here. They're still deciding what they want to do, but ultimately we do see the burrow in from Dahaka. The expulsion zone to isolate him, the charge and the taunt going down on him. He will be able to burrow just in time. The Rain of Vengeance is a little bit too early with that burrow, and now they are turning it around. The cleanse on Star Fox to try and prevent any effect of a grab, and now they're going to be able to push in with this boss a little bit. The Odin still ripping apart the side of Cloud8, however.
They are here. Cloud8 trying to make sure that they make the right move to engage this here. Odin is down, so the move might be now, but it looks like the boss is getting a little bit too low for them to make a push onto that keep.
Yeah, a little bit too aggressive there was Day as they tried to go in. Dahaka, especially with isolation instead of adaptation, doesn't have the survivability tools of an average tank. And yeah, you saw Lionspeed contemplating going in from behind there.
I did. I saw that too, but they elected to go push back out.
Yeah, but you know, no Twilight Dream. They're on even talent tiers, so maybe not the best idea. Yet again, the expulsion zone actually going after the Federalist. He decides
they get the tongue.
They get the tongue on Vala, but the cleanse is good from Gracious there. And we do see them continuing to pressure this as the tribute has spawned in the bottom lane. They are going to go ahead and back off here is the side of Cloud8. But Lionspeed is not done. They charge in, taunt the Federalist, the slide, the three-man mosh pit. They go right on Malfurion. Malfurion gets blown up. The Federalist, however, still getting very low, is going to get blown up eventually. Varcheezy also very low in this situation. But again, another very nice mosh pit from the Federalist. Turns out to be a 1-for-1 exchange here, Plague. They are not
1v1
taking advantage.
No, my goodness. Federalist is doing everything with ETC to get the proper position to get mosh pits, going from a 5-man to a 3-man. There is not much more you could ask of that man. He is playing a great game in his own right.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, it could just be the comp over the side of Cloud8. You know, Falstad faced some pretty harsh nerfs in terms of his, particularly of his auto attack build. The hammer build still pretty good for getting burst damage, but it was not gathering storm at level 1 here. You know, from I'm about to get this name right. You know, Shafin Tefe, maybe. I don't know. From Falstad.
Kind of weird. He built.
Yeah.
He's building a more or less. He started with a auto attack build and built into a hammer. Just kind of odd. Well,
and unless you're gonna go with guillotine, which let's be honest, nobody goes guillotine. You're not gonna get a whole lot of burst damage out of a Zul'jin player. Again, he's got probably one of the fastest ticking, sustained damage in the game for any sustained damage dealer. But it still is sustained damage. It is not burst damage. And so they are just not able to really take huge advantage of these because they only really have 2 true damage dealers, and neither one of them built for burst in any way.
No, there isn't. Like you said, with the hammer is probably the best you could do, especially with the boom added onto it. But if that's all you got in the reign of burst damage, that's not going to be enough to do much in a mosh pit, let alone a 5-man mosh pit.
Yeah, level 20 picked up here for the side of Cloud8. They are going to choose to go ahead and pressure this bottom lane. The Commandeer Odin already coming out more as a zoning tool than anything else from Varcheezy. They are actually going to back off of this play. Cloud8 going to let that Commandeer Odin just waste itself there.
That's probably the smartest move. Things like that come out with like a drill Odin or a stem from LT. Best option sometimes is go away from it and let that crap burn and then re-engage when you know any of those ults are down.
Yeah, Day playing with the idea of getting that boss started, but with the tribute spawning, gotta probably proc the rotation in from Lionspeed, or it could have anyway, but level 20 still not here, so they are going to go ahead and go on this, realizing that they do see members of Lionspeed in that bottom lane. No globals to be able to get up here, but the rotation is coming. Everyone but Vala is going to be here in time. They do have the expulsion zone as a decent zoning tool here for the boss, and it looks like they're contemplating going in on it. Yeah, the expulsion zone comes in to stall it. And
Oh my!
Gracious blinks over the
What a
wall.
steal!
The Bolt of the Storm steals it. He's going to pay for his life. He'll pay with his life there, but the Federalist also caught out in the situation, is going to be taken down. And yet again, we see a 4-man mosh that no one's going to be there to follow up.
That was a great exchange. That is a totally worth death right there on with Malfurion.
Oh,
Great exchange.
man.
And now we're going to see Heejin get caught out here. Not much he can do.
Ouch.
And there she goes.
Yeah, that's a rough rotation for a Morales that does not have the escape tool with the medevac. But that is going to be the second of these tributes going over to the side of Lionspeed. We'll have to see what they decide to do to try and capitalize on this. They do still have the boss pushing in the top lane. Is going to get some decent keep damage. Instead of pushing in a lane, though, Plague, they are going to elect to go for the other boss. And I don't know. I think when you got this kind of man advantage, you can split push against this boss and get a little bit more work done than just capturing another one.
Yeah, you know, to each their own on this particular one. I like the idea of getting the boss exchange, making sure bosses are on the cooldown, so that the other team doesn't have any way of being able to get them. And then, of course, invading into the camps. I really do like that, but you're right. At this particular level, split pushing might get you a little bit more than what a boss.
Yeah, you're right. The denial factor is definitely there, for sure. And this is going to be a very important tribute. Both teams are on curse point, but the side of Cloud8 got a lot of cleaning up to do. They do have the globals to still be able to get in and install this if they want to, but it looks like they're going to elect to just go ahead and give up the curse and clean up the camps.
That's right. It's probably the only thing they really can do, because they're at the point now where you got Winions to be a factor in this, because we're already late in the game. So probably the smartest thing to do was to clean up and then try to fight off with this curse here that's about a minute left to it.
I love Morales healing the camps, or healing the minions up from that 1 HP in the curse. I like Heejin there getting a little bit of cheese out from that Morales. But they are going ahead and pressuring this. The minions shooting at it, adding a little bit of a buffer. But Commandeer Odin is definitely going to push Cloud8 back. Both teams do have their level 20s. All ultimates are up here, but both teams still playing pretty cautiously, not wanting to risk too much at this stage of the game. But here is the charge in and taunt. Yet again, onto the Haka. The cleanse is good from Heejin.
Going down.
But Falstad goes down to the last bits of that Commandeer Odin, and the mosh pit completely whiffs. And, well, you know, you can't hit them all, Plague. It is what it is.
You can't.
The Federalist gets very low. The isolation on Perry and Star Fox is going to have to back out of that situation as they back up and pretty much waste any work that stim drone could really get done. But overall,
all the while there, Jay. Look at the top lane.
Oh.
We got minions pushing in there, and all the while stalling that out. Great job on Cloud8, recognizing that and not pushing the envelope and just stalling those guys out. And we have a 1-for-1 keep exchange already.
Yeah, it does look like Lionspeed is not done yet, though. They realize they still have all 5 members. Falstad is not up, but he'll be coming back soon here. 10 seconds. He will have Gust as well, so they are not going to push the issue too much. And you're right. That is a quality winning situation for the slide of Cloud8. You could even call that a wasted 3 tributes there. Yeah, hopefully, I apologize, folks. We're having a little bit of a Discord issue here, but I guess you could say there's a little bit of Discord in our voice chats.
I hate Discord. I don't know why the hell you didn't use Discord.
Yeah, well, it doesn't
For
usually...
this very reason.
Yeah, anyway. There is always a reason, but like I said, you can pretty much call that a wasted 3 tributes for the side of Lionspeed. They really didn't get any huge advantage out of that in an overall sense. They just traded keep for keep. And now we do see a little bit of pressure in here into this bottom section. Right now, the side of Lionspeed are really split up, but they do look like they're grouping to try and come meet this bottom answer. But not a whole lot going on the map right now, Plague. Nothing really to fight over, nothing really to go for. But this next tribute will be coming up soon. It's going to be a big tribute for Cloud8.
It is. It can be very big tribute, because this could be game, the GGs if they do not get this tribute. Because at this particular point, if you got a tribute against you, there's not much you can do with both late in the game. boss is up, and your keeps are turned off, it's really, really difficult, especially if you also start taking some deaths.
Shall we see who gathers enough tribute this time?
So the tribute is going to be in a favorable position for Lionspeed, but this is a really, really big moment in this match, Plague. The boss is up here in this top lane, where there is no keep over for the side of Lionspeed. This is a fight that Lionspeed cannot afford to lose. They need to catch somebody out, and quite frankly, I think they need to focus somebody that is not going to be able to burrow right after they focus them. They can't get to Haka down again.
Federalist is looking for it. You can tell the Federalist is looking for that.
He wants to make up for that last. Yeah, he wants to make up for that last one, doesn't he? He goes ahead and gets on that golden rooster as he tries to find the position. They are pretty well stacked up in here, but I don't know if you can really go around in this.
Can't get to him though. Yeah, just can't get to him.
Both teams just kind of waxing back and forth. Ultimately, this is bad for Cloud8. But they do have a camp pushing in that top lane. They can't afford to do this forever.
No, they can't. They're going to have to do something. But we also see the Minions going over in the bot lane, pushing on Cloud8's core.
Yeah, but doesn't have a camp behind it. There is the taunt on the Federalist. He is going to get the cleanse, and is going to be able to push them back. The Gust coming out as well, but that is the Gust used. Expulsion Zone also used, though, with the taunt. Finally, these guys are ready to fight. And Falstad getting poked very low. The tribute is going to be picked up, but Zarya gets pulled in from the tongue. The Big Wiz goes down. The taunt, and all of a sudden, the cleanse coming out on Star Fox as well to get him out of that death mosh, and the death metal, I should say. Lionspeed coming out with a 1-for-1 exchange when they really needed to win, not tie in this situation.
Exactly. Right, and already seeing about 40% of their core down.
Wait a minute.
43%.
Wait a minute. I think this one might be over, Plague. That is gonna be it.
Oh my! They're just in time, and it's not.
The Winions.
Okay. I don't think I've seen that before.
That feels bad, man. I gotta be honest with you. That is rough for the side of Cloud8, winning the game the whole time, and they just missed the little piece of map awareness. And with such a global team like they had too, they could afford to send somebody back to answer to that there. Both teams had something pushing, but you saw Lionspeed drop back to defend their core, and Cloud8 just YOLO'd at the boss and just didn't notice that their core was being assaulted by 4 catapults.
Mercy. I gotta call him out a little bit. I gotta call him out just a little bit. I mean, this is a Division 2 match. I expect that kind of crap. Quick match, maybe a Division 3. I'm sorry, not a Division 2. Somebody should have had map awareness a little bit. Shot caller. But goodness gracious.
Yeah, that is, I'll admit, a little bit of a bummer over on the side of Cloud8, but overall, they played some really great games. I gotta give the Federalist some credit. He hit some humongous mosh pits, but yeah, you know, I gotta give a lot of credit to Lionspeed. I felt like they were on the back foot.
They absolutely did.
Quite a lot throughout that game. Again, maybe focusing the wrong targets. You know, I felt like they never tried to even push beyond the Dahaka. And Dahaka is like the great death escape artist of Heroes of the Storm. You know, his job is to put himself in strange and weird positions and you know, not have to pay for it too much. But ultimately, yeah, you know, again, you got to give a lot of credit over to the side of over to the side of Lionspeed for having that map awareness, cleaning that up at the end, and picking up the Winions win in style.
That's right. Nice to see a different kind of win every now and again, but goodness. Oh well, there. You're looking at the scoreboard right now. Zul Jin there with a monstrous hero damage, the best hero damage on the game from both sides, only compared to Vala, who is the next closest at 60k, where Zul Jin is over at 87k hero damage. So congratulations, Zul Jin. But no surprise, they're one of the best sustained single target damage dealers in the game. But if you had to give it to somebody who for MVP, who would you go with? I guess for me, I am going to still go with it, even though they lost ETC. I'm going to have to go with ETC and the Federalist. there. Like we've always been saying the entire match, he did a really, really nice job. Zoning out, getting in the back lane, getting up those sneaky mosh pits of his. I'm giving him my MVP pick.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, you can't put any of that on him, Plague. I mean, he was dead at the end of the game.
That's true.
Oh, but yeah, you're right. Some excellent play, but also gotta give some love to the unsung heroes of the game, because you look at the numbers. How about Morales? 138k heals.
Yeah,
that is a ridiculous amount of healing. And I mean, I've played Morales games like that where I out heal my opponent by 80k and still manage to lose the game somehow in Hero League. But that's so I'll give a lot of credit to both the healers. Good sustain also though from Glaucius on the other side, and a couple of decent Twilight Dreams. And let's not forget that boss steal, Plague. That's something that's definitely gonna go into the weekly highlight reel, because that was a very nice play.
Right, it was. Knowing that he was gonna die there, but he did it anyways. Get the Silent Dream, and the bomb from What's Her Ass, and it all worked out well.
Yeah, also a good couple of zoning expulsion zones there from Big Wiz on Zarya. Good ult usage there. Varcheesy ripping things apart with that Commandeer Odin throughout a lot of the game. Got a couple big kills on Falstad. But yeah, overall, a lot of great play. Just kind of an interesting finish there, Plague.
That's right. But let's just get it with that interesting finish.
An interesting finish. Well, thank you very much for joining us, guys. This is going to be it for us casting tonight. We got a Pro Division match coming up tomorrow night. Let me go ahead and award Lionspeed with their very interesting win in this one.
Tomorrow we got a pro match, Brawls Deep. We've done those guys in Deckard Paynes at 7:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to put it 9:50 my time in Central and 10:50 if you're over on the East Coast. Sorry for you. You get shit upon yet again.
always on the East Coast.
Always.
That's where all the dumps go.
There it is.
The dumps go to die. But yeah, Brawls Deep returning. They did not play in week 1, but they are back. Our saviors and overlords in Chair League, Brawls Deep, coming back for their first match to face the Deckard Paynes, which great Diablo reference there.
Yes, it is very nice, very nice.
So we'll see how those guys do tomorrow night, and then we've got a Division 1 match, #Don'tCare versus Base Gods. We're going to have to look at the time on that one, actually, Plague. I think that one might have moved on me from Friday. Okay. So that one, actually, we might not be able to do, because 7 o'clock is kind of a no-go on Wednesday nights. But yeah, we do have at least 3 games coming up Friday night. So Friday night this week, we're doing a bunch of different matches. Division 2 matches so far on the slate. 3 of them, but we'll see about picking up more. And until then, we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.
All right, guys. Take care.